So I just had a shower. I reflected on what I did today, which is to say, nothing. I slept in, missed my early morning class, and missed the class after that. Even though I'm going to drop that one, that's not as big of a deal. I'm not too worried about missing that one since I'm gonna drop it. I did, luckily enough, make it on time to my third class of the day. After which since I missed breakfast, was starving to death. I had to go eat, and I ate so much it must have been the case that I ate so much that my brain just got frazzled, not to mention all the sugar I ate. I'm not supposed to eat sugar anymore. It really destroys my brain. I'm not supposed to eat sugar anymore, but I ate so much of it today. I've been eating a lot of sugar lately. I've been thinking it doesn't matter. I don't know why. Anyway. Thought about how little I did today. You go to the cafeteria, then realize your phone's dead, and so you can't do anything. You're so worried about your phone being dead, you can't. It was horrible. Actually, it was actually. It is horrible that happened. I was so just anxious about my phone being dead. I had to come back up to my room, plug my phone in, and babysit it. And what do you do while you're babysitting it? Oh, well, you watch YouTube videos. That's what I did until I got hungry again. Went out and ate, came back, and did the same thing. And I've got a good bit of work I need to do. It's not all due soon, which is just worse because they're pretty big projects and they're due in about a week. And what what prevented me from working on them was, I'd say, what prevented me from working on them was I didn't know where to start. I've got a big paper to write about I don't know, about something. Paper, and it goes along with like a 30-minute presentation, and I've got to figure out how to give a presentation too with a group. I guess it won't be so bad with a group, but it'll still be pretty bad. Figure out how to give a presentation. What else do I have to do? I've got to yikes. I've got to start interviewing people. For my class, they want me to approach people and interview them. And we've still got to work out our questionnaire, me and my group. We got to figure out a questionnaire. We really should have got on that today. I totally forgot. I didn't look at my math homework, which I should have. I should probably do that after I finish this video. I've got these projects I need to do. And I don't know where to start them. And that's a task. That's an actual, it isn't it's not like in the video games where you just set aside time. You're like a little miner goes up to a rock and picks at it for a set amount of time. It's not like going up to a faucet and filling up a bucket. It's mental labor. It's a puzzle. It's a puzzle. Slash procedure. So some things have to happen. Whenever there's like a big project, the first thing you do, and you have to do that really like as fast as possible. First thing you have to do is figure out what exactly you need to do, and you do that by determining what your goals for the project are. You say, I need to do this. You break it down. You have to break it down into, the best way to do it is to break it down into a number of tasks. It's not like my main objection with that is the breaking down of tasks leaves you with a set of instructions to follow. Which annoys me, because I feel like that's not the way it's supposed to be. I don't feel like it's supposed to be a set of instructions. That maybe that was some be yourself propaganda. Maybe that was some subversive stuff that was fed to me. But at the same time, I feel like it's sort of computerish. I feel it's somehow soulless. If you reduce it, if you boil it down to a certain number of steps, I feel it's like a task. I feel has some sort of infinity within it that a finite list of steps, any task that has a sort of infinity within it that a finite list of steps can't properly accomplish. Any task. But I guess that can be overcome by being more specific. If there's a way that a certain step has to be carried out, then that step can be subdivided into more steps to make the procedure much more precise, and that can be repeated as needed. Yeah, that's my main problem. But at the same time, maybe it's possible that any man-made, that any artificial goal is suitably attained by artificial steps, which is to say finite steps. Additionally, it's not so soulless to follow the instructions on a list when it is you yourself that makes the list. You're not really anyone's slave, but your own, which isn't so bad. Right? I mean, that's the point. If you're your own master, then you're also your own slave. Isn't that true? So yeah, for any task, I mean, really any task, honestly, it's much more important with complicated tasks, but even simple tasks, unless it's something you know how to do right away, it's to one's benefit to go over the plan, go over the steps. Especially for me, since I get distracted so easily. It's like from the producers. Step one, raise the money. Step two, hire the director. It's like that. It's like that. The other point I wanted to talk about was really it's about being accountable to yourself. Um, I guess a big part of the reason I don't deign to do very much. One of the reasons I think it's okay to slack off. I think it's okay to cheat on my diet or whatever. Like, I don't even have a diet. I need to make one. But one of the reasons I would potentially think it's okay to cheat on my diet is because I have a very low opinion of myself, and therefore that makes it okay for me to disobey myself. I'm kind of a rebellious dude. I was always causing a little bit of trouble when I was younger, just because I didn't want to do what I was told. And now I'm out here. No one's telling me what to do, really, except for myself, and I can't obey myself. I'm not accountable to myself. Can you hear me? I'm not accountable to myself. I need to figure out how to have a higher opinion of myself so that I'm willing to, you follow someone else's orders because you have a sense that there will be reward for obeying and a punishment for disobeying. And maybe if you set up an institution like that, you will take yourself more seriously. It's almost as though you have to play two different roles at the same time. The doer and you have to play the role of the slave. You have to play the role of the person who fears the wrath, and you also have to be the wrath giver. That takes a lot of discipline and a sort of sense of justice. It takes a lot of discipline. I mean, you can't be a proper disciplinarian. If you're always giving breaks to yourself because you want to benefit yourself. Which in a way goes with that Buddhism thing of no self. If the truth is that there is no self, and what is morally correct is to go along with the truth, then actions you take to benefit yourself are immoral. And I don't mean that, I mean that to address the issue of making your own punishments less harsh, because you're punishing yourself rather than others. You have to be able to punish yourself, hold yourself to a high standard, essentially. I don't know, dress better, eat better, do things that make you feel sort of esteemed. That way you can take yourself seriously. Yeah, what does that mean? You're gonna have to figure out what that means. And that's what your room should be, really, is your room, at least part of your room, you should have some sort of document or some sort of binder in your room, some sort of terminal, maybe. Yeah, if you're really disciplined, you could do it on your computer. Yeah, you should be able to do it on your computer. I mean, I won't. Not at first. That's an issue I've had. I find myself trying to imagine what it would be like to live with another person. Sort of, who's just there to keep me focused. But I don't think that's supposed to happen. Not for a while. Gotta figure out how to do that myself. So yeah, in your room you should have some sort of terminal where you keep track of what you're supposed to do, whether you've done it, and a punishment and reward schedule, perhaps, so that you can properly train yourself to do what you know is right. Yeah, something like that. I feel like I'm forgetting something. It was something about the way you feel about yourself that makes you think you can get away with things. Yeah, you don't see see yourself as an authority the way you see others as authorities. Which is wrong if you want to work for yourself. It's important to take actions that really embody that sort of self-respect, that really sort of ingrains that sense of self-respect. You are what you do, and you believe what you do, and you rationalize what you do. So when you do it, when you do things like that, instinctually you will come to respect yourself more, take yourself more seriously, and then obey whatever commands you have for yourself. I think that's all. Good night.